Muse have finally released their 10th album, The Wow Signal, and with this album they have released another music video for a song on it called Hush, featuring Ellie Goulding. This is like the 6th music video that has been released for this album cycle, which I'm all here for because I really like looking at music videos, and Muse are interesting and creative and clearly have a budget, so all of the ones that they've released so far I have found to be at the very least quite entertaining, which is good. So today we're going to go through and watch and analyze Hush and listen to that particular one, and in the next couple of days I'm going to abuse my brain with only listening to Muse, specifically this album, and I'm going to get a full proper album review out for you. But for now, I just thought it'd be really interesting to listen to this one, especially because this song features Ellie Goulding, who is a name that I have known for a very long time, but as you can tell, maybe by the way I look, that is kind of not my genre, really, so I did have to do a little Googling, and it seems like she's got a lot of accolades, actually. I don't really recognise any of the bigger songs I listen to on her profile or anything like that. You know, I'm sure they're great for if that's kind of your thing, but either way, it seems like quite a big deal that she's on this one, because I then did a little research, and Muse do not do, like, featuring collaborations very often at all. In fact, on the list I managed to find over here, there's a very, very limited amount. So apparently Who Knows Who, which was a B-side for Uprising, has got The Streets on it. Mike Skinner does spoken word over it, and that's like basically it. Other than that, on The Will of the People, the album that came out last, I guess, which is actually a really cool idea, there's a song called How Can I Move On there, and that has got re-recorded versions of several different countries with local artists from there. So the ones I've got in front of me as an example is Elisa from Italy, also I'm never going to get this right, Mylene Farmer from France. So actually that's really nice. I like the idea that they recorded singles, and other than that, there's one song that was apparently part of Twilight's soundtrack, specifically, what was it, Eclipse? Which has some like piano and stuff. But my point being, there is not a lot of collaboration stuff going on in Muse's catalogue. So it's interesting that now, and who, you know, so this song featuring Ellie Goulding, Hush, which is quite interesting. So yeah, what I'm going to do is watch through this now. We're going to break it down, pause, just sort of talk about any musical stuff that is interesting, analyze it. If you do want to watch the entire video uninterrupted without me talking over it and not clipped, I recommend you go and check out the original one first, then come back and we'll go through it together. So now, without any more waffle from me, let's go through and listen to Hush featuring Ellie Goulding and watch the visualizer. Ooh. I like that. That's a nice intro. Just the raw, very sort of like analog sounding bass tone too, and a really fun little riff. It's kind of a bit punky. It's got a bit kind of like heavier stuff in there. Maybe this is going to be more down the line of something like Cryogen or what was the other one I really liked? Unraveling. In there, it's going to be like, yeah, more metal-y? I don't know. Yeah, that's a fat riff is what that is. It's just those little details that separate Muse from other people. The way that riff goes to start with the dung, da 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 dung, whatever, that's all kind of fine. But then there's a couple of notes on the way up, the way that they chose to sort of like modulate that chord. At the very end there, it kind of adds a slightly more unsettling feeling to it. It doesn't resolve quite the way your ears are expecting it to. I'm sure there's some very, very clever musical theory reasons for that, but my music theory stops and starts at grade 5. That was well over a decade ago, so I can't tell you exactly why, but just that little bong do at the bottom there, I really like that. It kind of had a like more minor inflection to it. It's cool. Is that gang vocals? I think it might be. That's kind of nice as well. Like in the background, mix real quiet actually, but it sounds like all of them are kind of, or at least some people are singing along to that riff. Very, very openly mixed with everything else going on. You know, the drums are absolutely going crazy on the cymbals right now, so it's quite a hectic sound. But I quite like that actually. It definitely gives it this more, I don't know, Doom-esque quality to it. It's coming closer. Okay. Quiet the cobra. Can't keep composure. Little spaceman. and a little bit piano as well. That just took such a massive tonal shift from the 5 seconds previous to it. Suddenly, the drums are basically, it sounds like they're being replaced with a digital sound, at least with that, unless they've just changed how they're EQing it. That's just the bass kick drum, but there's definitely tonally changed a lot. It immediately sounds way more electronic, but then we've got a piano, like a sort of normal, or not authentic, a normal acoustic sounding piano in the background, which, at least for all the singles so far, I believe is the first appearance of one of those. But I do know Matt Bellamy loves to bust out a piano now and then, so we always like that. But no, it's got the sort of textural shift there was very intense.
Trying, just let the light in, secrets to keep. I want to feel it, forget the world together.
I wonder if that was her in the background. Was it Ellie Goulding doing that like backing vocal there, just the highlight of that last line? Kind of cool. Actually, to be fair, I feel like Matt Bellamy's voice would suit really nicely to do some back and forth or some harmonies with a female voice. So I'm kind of feeling like that, especially for this song, because it's almost got a bit more like, what's that, like Supremacy or something like that, where it kind of opens out. It has this big bombastic opening, even though, to be fair, the opening is a little bit more sort of like in the same sphere as something like Plug-in Baby, and then you kind of have this like more kind of like delicate piano led, very Matt Bellamy kind of like singing, not very loud, it's quite hush, it's quite hushed, which is the name of the song, but you know what I mean, it's kind of like low key in his vocal delivery, even though it does look like it is about to take a little bit of a more hectic turn. Yeah, here we go. Okay. I was trying to figure out if that was a harmony or an effect. I think it was an effect. What is that? Okay. That was a really nice little chorus. I like the way it opened up again. That synth sound in the background, nice. Again, it's kind of like everything else is quite sort of like low down there. It's quite a thin structure for most of it so far, so just having it kind of open up like that, and I was right that Matt Bellamy's voice mixed with Ellie Goulding sounds really, really nice. Just having them do sort of like harmonies and share the hooks and stuff like that, I think it's going to end up making their song really, really good. I really liked the sort of the melody as well for that chorus. It was catchy, it was kind of like interesting. Yeah, no, I am all over this.
Breath in.
Okay. I like that the intro riff that we've heard at the very, very beginning is actually part of the sort of back end of the chorus. Like literally the word hush is happening at the same time as that sort of riff is coming in again. It's such a nice idea when you lay like a musical seed like that at the very beginning, and you know, even if you don't like consciously think about it, you are subconsciously waiting for that riff, that motif to come back. So when it does, it's like really pleasing. It's this big coming home kind of feeling to it, which I really, really appreciate. It was a good chorus. It was catchy. I like it. And again, things like just having the word hush repeated, it's very easy and quick to pick up, so if you want to sing along to it, especially in a live context, you can do that quite quickly, which again is smart. It sounds like that backing vocal that's kind of mirroring the riff is almost like a choral, like a choir or something like that. It's very, it's probably just them doing multi-layered vocals, to be fair, but it's got this very grand feeling to it, I think. There he is, Mr. Man. Nice. Oh, she's getting a verse. That's interesting too. I don't know enough about Ellie Goulding to know whether or not this is a feature of her music normally, but they do the same mixing style they do with Matt, where they are leaving in her breaths. It's very much a characteristic of Muse that you just have before every single verse, which is actually, it works kind of like contextually with them. It kind of adds to their sound, but that's quite interesting that they're doing that for her verse too. And she's got a verse, which is also significant and kind of interesting. Those little whispers are really nice as well. Her tone of voice is kind of strange in a good way. I like it, actually. It works with this nicely, but I don't know whether there's like an effect on it slightly, but it's kind of very, I don't know, snatched. Is that the right way of putting it? Sounds a little digital, but I feel like that might just be the way that she delivers it. It's kind of like quite high sort of frequency. It's not got a lot of low EQ on it, but it's nice. I like it. It works nicely in this context, especially with the very sparse backing with the sort of like lower piano notes coming through the background there. It kind of like really cuts through because of that.
I know you need it.
See, again, that's quite nice. The verse is taking the exact same sort of style structure as Matt Bellamy's, which makes sense, but they've inverted who's doing the harmonies now, which is cool. She's just like, sometimes when you get guest artists doing stuff like this, it's a case of them doing like, you know, a little chunk in the middle, and the majority of it is they're fully sharing these vocal lines. She's doing the pre-chorus too, which is interesting.
It's you and me now, there's chaos all around. So lose yourself.
Just that little bass, the woo-doo-doo-boom, when it comes in there. Just these little details. It just makes it all so rich and nice to listen to. It's just, I feel like it's because the riff is actually a lot longer than you kind of think it's going to be. It actually doubles in length, and the way that the rhythms carry over on the sort of like versus the sort of bars in the structure and the thing means that it actually crosses over a couple of the bar lines, which is really interesting. But it's why it kind of makes you feel like it keeps on going. It's really nice. I know it's only a visualizer, but I'm enjoying the sort of visual component of this. It's a very, very high effort visualizer. People who say visualizer, lyric video, music video, it feels like the distinctions between what those are nowadays is significantly less sort of like black and white, because I would consider this a music video, to be honest, but it's trippy as shit, which I like actually, and this, the fidelity of it's cool. I really like all of the imagery attached to this album. Look at this. Spinning bullshit. Ooh. That's so 2001: A Space Odyssey as well, which I really like. Leading into what sounds like a very passionate, emotive guitar solo, starting very, very high as well. It's almost like it's matching her voice for where it kind of sits in the arrangement. It's straight up there, that very, very high note. Man, it's like she's doing more vocals than Matt, which I don't have an issue with it. It's just surprising. Yeah, she's doing vocals, but harmonies for herself in this bit. There we go. Actually, that was quite nice the way that they passed that over between each other, because he did that little ooh, coming in there as that sort of like that little call and response harmony there, and then it passes back to him for this very quiet, much more spoken, very sad final line. God, you could hear the sort of like inside of his mouth moving then. It was so quiet. Hush. Okay, I like that. I did actually really like that. Ellie had a way bigger presence in that song than I was expecting. But, you know, screw it. If you're going to have a featuring artist, you might as well make use of them. So that's cool. Does make me think they probably won't play this one live, I guess, unless she happens to be there for any particular reason. I mean, I feel like Ellie Goulding is probably too big to support Muse, or really vice versa. So unless they're on the same festival bill, I don't see that one getting played live very often. But other than that, that riff was an absolute banger. I really like the way that it kind of like back and forth with the way that these sort of like verses were so stripped down and piano heavy and quite emotional in their delivery just across the board, really. And then that banger of a riff just keeps on coming in there, passing in there, sort of like really kicking up the energy. The riff was very well structured. The tones are great. Obviously, it's Muse, so the production is just awesome. Everything in there is intentional, down to the, like, you know, Matt Bellamy was literally doing this at the very end. He was talking like this into the microphone, so you could really, really hear the, like, you know, every subtle movement of his mouth for that last line, which is kind of fun. But no, their voices worked really nicely together. I like the way they kind of like passed the sort of main portions, the sort of like lead line between each other. Again, just I'm still really surprised that she just got like a full verse, pre-chorus, and majority of a chorus being essentially the lead singer, which is cool. And I guess in that last chorus, especially, Matt, I guess, rather than singing, was mostly playing a guitar solo, which was actually really nice. I like that. It's kind of like, they're still kind of double acting. It's just that he's chosen to use the guitar to express his sort of like melody lines and counteract with her rather than his vocals, which is cool. I like that. The whole song was awesome. This makes me very, very hopeful for the rest of the album, which I'm now about to go and listen to off camera and listen to obsessively, because that is, what, 6 songs now that I really, really like. God, this album is it's been a breath of fresh air. I'm gonna be so disappointed if the other songs I haven't heard yet suck. I think it's unlikely. I think it's very unlikely. Just this genuinely, from my perspective at least, might be shaping up to be one of the best Muse albums for a long time. I mean, I think personally, the last time I really liked the majority of an album of Muse, like you know, so like 90% of it was probably Drones, which is now 10 years ago and several albums ago. And prior to that, you know, you're looking at Origin and Symmetry, really, or maybe Black Holes and Revelations for like borderline perfect albums. This might genuinely be the Renaissance, whatever, of Muse, which is great for me because I'm a huge fan. I think they have actually announced a tour. I don't know if the tickets are on sale yet. I fear they might be eye-wateringly expensive, but everything is nowadays. But either way, that was great. Full album review incoming in the next couple of days. I just need to listen to it properly enough to really formulate and verbalize my opinions. But in the meantime, I'd be very curious to hear what you guys' thoughts are of the album and this single. And also just like how the handling of the guest vocals from Ellie Goulding, how they make you feel. I thought that was actually really interesting. I like that they gave her more limelight than I was expecting. That's cool. It was a good use of a guest featuring artist. Other than that, if you did like the video, please subscribe to the channel. It helps to grow and it would be very much appreciated from me. Otherwise, have a fantastic day and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.